Part 7. The Hunt Begins. A week passed since I shut down Black Veil, but Orlov still haunted my thoughts. Third Echelon was digging into the intel I pulled, tracking Black Veil's global operations, but I knew it wasn't enough. Orlov was still out there, and his reach extended far beyond the program. As long as he was breathing, the threat lingered. I was in the middle of a training session, trying to shake off the weight of the mission, when Lambert's voice cut through my earpiece. "Sam, we've got a lead on Orlov. He's not hiding." That got my attention. "What do you mean?" "We intercepted chatter from one of our assets in St. Petersburg. Orlov's moving. He's planning something big. We believe he's gathered what's left of his operatives and is preparing for a counterstrike. His target could be anyone, NATO, EU intelligence, maybe even civilians." My grip tightened around the bar. Orlov was too smart to be making obvious moves. If he was moving in the open, it meant he was confident, dangerously so. "What's the play?" I asked. Lambert didn't hesitate. "We're sending you in, St. Petersburg. You'll rendezvous with our asset, an ex-GRU officer who's been embedded within the FSB. He's been tracking Orlov's movements for months now. He'll give you what you need to find him." I let out a breath and nodded, already mentally preparing for the next leg of the mission. "I'm ready. Send the details." "Sam," Lambert added, his voice grave, "Orlov's not like the others. He knows how you operate. This won't be easy." "It never is," I replied before disconnecting. Part 8. Into the cold. St. Petersburg welcomed me with freezing winds and gray skies. It had always been a city of contrasts. Beauty and darkness coexisting like old friends. This mission wasn't about subtlety anymore. It was a manhunt. I moved through the bustling streets, making my way to the rendezvous point in an old abandoned shipyard. The asset Lambert had mentioned, code name Volk, was waiting in the shadows. He was a tall man with sharp, calculating eyes that spoke of experience in Russia's covert operations. He greeted me with a curt nod. "You must be Fisher," he said in a thick Russian accent. "You're not what I expected." "I get that a lot," I replied, scanning the area. "What do you have for me?" Volk handed me a small encrypted drive. "Orlov's been hiding in plain sight. He's using the old Cold War bunkers beneath the city as his base of operations. He's pulling strings to launch a coordinated attack on multiple Western intelligence agencies. It's happening soon, very soon." "How soon?" I asked, my voice steady. "Hours, maybe less. He's already mobilized his team." I slid the drive into my pocket. "What's the plan for extraction?" Volk smirked. "You're in Russian territory. There is no extraction. You'll be on your own." I'd expected as much, in and out, just like old times. Part 9. Beneath the surface. The bunkers beneath St. Petersburg were relics from another era, massive concrete structures built to survive nuclear war. I moved through the cold, damp corridors with precision, relying on years of training. The FSB had secured the area tightly, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle. The guards fell silently as I moved deeper into the labyrinth, getting closer to Orlov. As I approached the central command room, I could hear voices. Orlov, barking orders to his operatives. He was ready for war. I activated my OPSAT, using the device to disable the bunker's internal security systems. The lights flickered, and chaos erupted. I breached the room with lethal efficiency. Orlov's men didn't stand a chance. By the time the smoke cleared, Orlov was standing alone, his cold, calculating eyes meeting mine. "I knew you'd come," he said, his voice steady, almost amused. "You know how this ends, Orlov," I replied, raising my weapon. He smirked, shaking his head. "No, Fisher. It's only beginning." Before I could react, he triggered a fail-safe, a self-destruct mechanism built into the bunker's infrastructure. The entire facility began to shake as explosions rocked the foundation. Orlov made a break for it, slipping into a hidden escape tunnel. I gave chase, navigating through the collapsing bunker as fire and debris fell around me. Every step was a race against time. Part 10. The Final Confrontation. The escape tunnel led to an old metro station, long abandoned but still functional. Orlov had nowhere left to run. I cornered him on the platform, the sound of distant explosions still echoing in the tunnel behind us. "You're done, Orlov. It's over," I said, my weapon trained on him. Orlov turned to face me, his expression calm, almost serene. "You really think you've won, Fisher? You can kill me, but the Black Veil lives on. There will always be more like me, more who see the world for what it really is: chaos, control, power." He made a move, reaching for something in his coat, a detonator. Without hesitation, I fired. Orlov crumpled to the ground, his last words barely audible. "This isn't over." I stood there for a moment, watching as the life drained from his eyes. The threat of Black Veil had been neutralized, but Orlov's words stuck with me. He was right in a way. There would always be others like him, always another shadow lurking in the darkness. Part 11. The Long Road Home. As I made my way back to the extraction point, Folk's voice came over the comms. "Fisher, did you get him?" "Orlov's dead," I replied, my tone flat. "Good. The FSB will be in chaos after this. We'll clean up the rest. You did what had to be done." I didn't respond. The mission was over, but the weight of it all sat heavy on my shoulders. Orlov's death wasn't a victory. It was just another step in an endless war fought in the shadows. I boarded the exfil chopper, the city of St. Petersburg fading into the distance as we ascended into the cold, dark sky. I thought about Sarah. She was safe for now. But I knew the world we lived in. There would always be threats, always more battles to fight. And as long as they existed, I'd be there, in the shadows, doing what I did best. Because sometimes, the only way to protect what you love is to fight the battles no one else can see. Mission accomplished.